We're here on the corner of Valley View and Blackstone Parkway in El Dorado Hills, California today to test out just how much drag a safety flag has on a recumbent trike. Let's check it out. The section of Blackstone Parkway we'll be using for our experiment today runs approximately 3/4 of a mile long and varies in slope, with sections running between 6 to 3%. We weren't looking for something extremely steep, but rather something that would continue downhill for an extended period of time. The two trikes we'll be using are both ICE VTXs with the same tires inflated to the same pressures. There are some minor differences, but the only major difference will be that Rich will be running this flag on his trike. Okay, so this was the first run. The idea here was to basically get the trike's speeds matched and then just let them rip, see if one pulled away from the other. You can see Rich with the flag is actually pulling away from me in the beginning, but let's give it a little time and see what happens. We're approaching the steepest part of the road, about 6%, where we hit about 32 miles an hour. And you can see here I start pretty significantly pulling away from Rich. This gets kind of interesting here because you can see I've opened up a pretty good gap on Rich, but as we slow down and hit maybe 20 miles an hour on the shallower sections of the road, he kind of stabilizes and stays with me without moving back any further. But then as we start slowing down even more, he does seem to start moving back further. All right, the second run, we were kind of thinking that Rich might have been having a problem because he was in the bike lane on the last run and the pavement wasn't great over there, so this time he came out into the road proper. Still the same flag, let's see what happens. Looks like he's keeping up pretty good with me here. But then again, when we hit the steeper section, he starts moving back. Again, he does seem to have times when he stabilizes and matches my speed, but eventually he begins to fall further and further behind. We started thinking that maybe I had some kind of advantage with the inside track, so we switched positions and put Rich on the inside this time. Let's see what happens now. He's keeping up pretty well. But again, same section of road, same steeper section of road, and he begins to fall back. Now, for some reason, Rich wanted to try a run with this large American flag. I thought it was just going to make things worse for him, but he wanted to do it, so what the heck. Here we go on the fourth run with the large American flag, Rich on the inside track again. Holding steady with me so far. and still holding steady with me. And if you notice, this flag isn't flapping as much as the ice flag did. He's actually clearly doing better with this flag than he was with the ice flag. And it's a larger flag, but I think it's just more aerodynamic, possibly because of its length and because it's not flapping as much. Here's a split screen of the two flags at speed. Notice how the American flag just sort of tucks into an aero position while the ice flag is going crazy over there, creating much more wind resistance. Anyway, back to the American flag run. Even though he's doing better with the American flag than he was with the ice flag, eventually he does begin to fall behind. We figured we'd better do a run with no flag on Rich's trike, just as a control to make sure that everything was even Steven up front. So here is that run. He's staying with me so far. Pulling ahead a little bit. Approaching the steep section where we hit 32 miles an hour. And he's staying right with me. There you go, almost identical speed here. Now a strange thing starts to happen here. As we start slowing down to maybe 20 miles an hour, he does start falling back a bit. But just a bit. And he's still staying with me pretty well. This is almost a wash. I'm attributing maybe this little bit of loss in aerodynamics on his trike to the fact that he has two side mirrors and I only have one mirror. So what have we learned here? Well, I'd say that a flag definitely does impart additional drag, but the amount of drag seems to vary depending on your speed and the size and shape of the flag, and sometimes, as it would appear, a larger flag may be offering up less resistance than a smaller flag. Also, as far as speed is concerned, it looks like you're going to have to be getting up some pretty fair speed to get that flag to make a significant difference. Are there any conclusions here about whether you should or should not use a flag? Sure, if you're racing, time trialing, or trying to set a new personal record on Strava, I'd leave the flag at home, but for normal riding, the added safety afforded by the humble flag is well worth the minor amount of drag it creates. Besides, the next time you're having a bad day and can't seem to keep up with your riding buddies, that flag can come in handy as an excuse. It's not me, guys, it's this flag slowing me down. You think they'll buy that? Hey, it's worth a try.